Sometimes real life sucks, man. It's hard. And we all have our battles. We all have our demons.
Hey there. Welcome to Top of Mind. Real talk for today's woman. With Anna and Karen.
And we are back. And I just want to point out, Annie's still the same. This is the third time round. Wow. More confidence. She hasn't switched. So
Wait, I'm going to take my brow off.
oh, dear. No, please. So, when we sit down and we decide what we're going to kind of talk about, we ask each other what we're working on, what we've been doing. And one of the things that I've been contemplating a lot on, and I just I'm going to look down at my paper for a minute, is Ed. I was listening to Ed Milat one day, and he said, do you want to succeed in something that doesn't matter? And, it was interesting because Annie took that a different way than I did. But what I really heard was, going back to impact, how I impact the world, how I am in the world and things. But more importantly was succeeding in something that doesn't matter. Like, if I've written a book, but it doesn't go anywhere, or if I am good at my job, but if I'm good at my job as a supervisor, but it doesn't enhance other people. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've been contemplating, what does it mean to succeed in something that doesn't matter? And I think a lot of it is because this last year, I reached to, what do they call them? Big, hairy, audacious goals. Big ones that actually, in the scheme of things, I never actually, in my wildest dream ever, really thought that I would reach them. And I gave them up. Like halfway through the year, I'd been working on them for 2 years, and I thought, this is really never going to happen. It feels like in the process of letting go, what happened is I opened up for these goals to happen. And one was a monetary goal, and the other one was a creative goal. But it opened up the channels for it to happen in a different way, because I've been so focused on it being this way, coming from this direction because of these actions. And when I let go and said it's not going to happen, it came from left. It's like, that's my right. Left. Screen's backwards. Anyway, it came from the other way. And so now I'm sitting here going, like, I have accomplished pretty much everything I wanted to accomplish.
That's awesome.
Thank you. But it's like, is it wrong to want more? Or here's my big thing. I'm comfortable here. This is what I'm struggling with. My why before was to have the money and to have this. And it's like, now there isn't that why. I don't need it. So I'm really kind of stuck on that. So I have succeeded, but it doesn't really mean anything.
Well, what do you mean it doesn't mean something?
It only means something to me.
Okay. But
like I'm comfortable here. It's like, I am so tired of pushing, of feeling like I fail, of hitting those roadblocks and turning left, and feeling trodden upon, and the unsuccess and things like that. But that's all a part of entrepreneurship. And it's also part of greatness, getting back up. And maybe that's it, the getting back up. And it's not that I haven't gotten back up. I'm really comfortable sitting here right now. And that's what it kind of said to me is that, have I really succeeded? I've succeeded in my goals, but what do my goals really mean?
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
As it relates to, let's go back to, you achieved your goals, but you kind of stopped. So they came from this way.
Yeah.
Would you say that was manifestation?
Well, and therein, a lot of people would say, no. I do believe in manifestation, yes. But the whole idea with the manifestation, what I've been working on, was to have that happen and create that. And so therefore you have to put thought into it, desire, and all this type of, and I did that, nothing happened, screw it.
You have a part of manifestation too is letting go.
And
there's so many different styles of manifestation, and maybe we should talk about that in a future one. But part of it is setting that goal, taking the steps, and detaching from the outcome, letting it go.
But here, yes, and I agree with that. That's the way that I feel like when you put stuff out in the universe, it comes back. And the reason why it came back was I finally let go of it so it came from a different direction. But
Right.
when I speak to my mastermind and people with the manifestation of that, as soon as I suggest that I let go, they're like, yes, you let go, can this, but you're supposed to be mentally, physically still thinking about it, working on it, desiring it. And in some ways, when I say I let go, I stopped desiring it. It's like, if it happens, that's fine. And if it doesn't, it's fine too.
Yeah, and see, that's where I'm gonna say, I'm gonna play devil's advocate and tell you that I think that there will be manifestation gurus out there that will tell you that's exactly what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to keep thinking about it. You're not supposed to keep desiring it. You put it out there, you take your steps, you visualize that you have it, and you put it down. I mean, I can probably give you some people that you could look up that that's what they're going to tell you. That's manifestation right there. So
Right.
that's why I'm curious, but I get it because it's like anything. You could have 10 experts and they'll have give you 10 different ways to, but to me, you just epitomized what I would consider manifestation.
Yeah. Okay. And for me, it's like it wasn't when it came, it was kind of like, of course. There
Yeah.
wasn't a question, of course.
Yeah. Like it was like you knew, like it wasn't oh my God, you're like, of course it came. Like,
It's an interesting thing. I have a medallion, a 1 year medallion that I've carried. I carry my last medallion. We get them every 5 years when you're sober. Okay.
uh-huh.
So I've given that medallion to, like, when I was working in the group homes, a young kid and 15, 16 to hang on to, hoping that's trying to get sober, hoping that they will cherish it like I do. And a lot of
Hmm.
times they don't, right?
Right.
But I'm always worried, will I get it back? Will I get it back? And then I get it back. And every time I'll lose it. I don't know about you, but I lose that. To me is my prized possession. Okay. It
Hmm.
costs me the most out of anything in my life. And
Hmm.
when I lose it, I look and I go crazy. And this has happened time and time again. And when I let go and think, that's it, I'm not meant to have it, is when it comes back into my life.
Hmm.
And it's kind of like that. It's like when I let go of that burning desire, which is making it happen and everything like that, and let go that if I get it, it's great. And if I don't, I'm going to be okay too, is when
Hmm.
it comes in.
Hmm.
So it was never that I always knew it was going to come. No, it is, I had let go
Hmm.
of needing, wanting, or having it in that moment. And it was okay. So, but what it brought me to is a crisis of the crisis that I'm in today of what's my why?
Hmm.
Do I have to do anything anymore? Why am I doing it? When have I succeeded when in the end it doesn't mean much? You know, I feel like I'm like up a mountain and I've reached the top of the mountain and there's another one and I don't know that I want to climb it again.
But that is professionally. You have, and it's kind of interesting because I've never been a why person, and I get the whole, Simon Sinek and all the know your why. That has just never been me. Maybe that's part of my problem is I just, but it's like, yeah, that's your professional, but you have other goals too. Like we started this with you saying I want to get my health back, and
Yes.
we end it with understanding that this is our home, and we need to
Yes.
tend to our home. So yeah, I guess, and to some degree, you climb the work mountain, the
Yeah.
entrepreneur mountain, but you have so many other mountains.
Yes. And as you're talking, I forgot that thought, that thought that I was on, but it's I was hoping it would come back to me, but it's
Well,
not
your
going.
thought was that your why, that you lost your why
Oh,
because you climbed the mountain and you looked and you're like, I
yeah.
don't know if I'm interested in that effing mountain.
Yeah. And here's the thing is when I say my why, and maybe this is, I've never really known why I'm doing it. It's kind of like I want to be like them, or I want
Mhm.
to, have a helicopter, like I don't know about anybody. I train for marathons. I hate fucking marathons. Okay,
Mhm.
I ran
Right.
like 10 of them. I hate them. I hate the training. I hate everything about them. You know why I did them? Bragging rights. you know, and the camaraderie with being with the girls and training and that type of stuff. But the first one, bragging rights.
And
So
what's that?
hey, I did a marathon. you know?
But who is that talking?
Me,
What part of you?
the big shot. No, the one that gets proud of goals and achieving
The
things and
ego,
yeah.
right?
Oh
The
yeah,
ego.
okay, ego. Sorry, yes, lead me.
Yep.
Ego, yes.
Jesus, can you just say the right freaking word next time? But maybe that's part of your thing.
Yes,
You don't need to satisfy that anymore because, and we've even talked about you moving more into an awareness, which is the opposite of ego. Girl,
absolutely.
I am so freaking proud of you, but you don't even like, I get it. I see it. I see you.
Right. Thank you. So, the whole thing is that why is passion. I think, the why has never been important to me. It's the passion. When
Hmm.
I was doing photography, it wasn't about changing the world and having impact in that. It was a passion.
Hmm.
And somewhere it's like I lost the passion in the entrepreneur when I hit that goal. And I know they say you're supposed to make a bigger goal, but the hurdles along the way and everything about that, it's like I don't like. So I'm trying to rechange it, do it in a different way. You asked me what I'm doing, and I'm looking at digitalizing what I offer. Still doing one-to-one, but doing a
Right.
digital offer, which is
Hmm.
courses, type
Right.
of idea. But it's kind of like that. It's the passion. Your why is when I think of my why, I think of what's my passion, what's driving this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that makes sense. And it's kind of interesting because I was the opposite. Like I entered this space like always just wanting to do the digital. Like, and that's where
Mhm.
I need to get back. And I fell into the coaching and the one-to-one. That's not anything I really ever wanted to do. Truly. Like
Yeah.
I was the opposite. Like I've always wanted to be more digital, the content creation. Like that's what juices me. Like when you talk and you and I talked about that. Like that's the part that juices me.
Yeah.
So it is interesting because, and here we are, me and you.
I know. I know. A couple years later. And so
Yeah.
right now it's like I find that without the passion, it's rudderless.
That's
It's
everything in life though.
it, yes and no, but I do like knowing kind of where I'm going towards, what I'm heading towards, or that type of stuff.
Hmm.
Um, it can change, but there has to be something, and it spurs it. So that's what I'm struggling with. We talked about authenticity.
Hmm.
you know I mean, one of the things I'm enjoying is I'm just writing when I want to. I write what I want to, and I love writing. That's a big thing. I enjoy it.
Hmm.
So of course my post people say they're more like blogs, but anyway, I put them out there. um Read them if you want or not, but the whole idea is I'm writing what I want to, and it's usually about whatever I'm going through, and that to me is much more authentic. We were talking about that rather than writing to my client and my audience so that they can read about confidence.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because I think you were a little upset with me initially, not
yes,
upset with me, but when I said you're being more authentic because you didn't understand what I was
yes,
saying. Not that because you and I mean, the one thing I will say about you and I as coaches is, what you see is what you get.
yes,
We're not full of, hot air, we're false promises. So we're always authentic in that sense. So when you told me you're writing more for you, I said that's you being authentic. Like that's versus, hey, yes, you can teach confidence out the wazoo. But writing to teach someone that is different than writing from your authentic self that, hey, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm going through, not driven toward the confidence client, if that makes sense. Because that's kind of as coaches, even as we're entering the space, that's how we're taught.
it is. You're right. It absolutely is. And the
Yeah.
fact of the matter is that um, when we look at being authentic, I mean, people say that they want authenticity now. That they don't want the polished videos and this and that and the other, because so many people have lied out there. You see
Mhm.
pictures of them having, I have one right now. They should make a Netflix out of her. She's in one of the most expensive luxury condos in Toronto. She's driving Ferraris and Jaguars and everything like that. You know what I know as investigating? She's taking your luxury goods and selling them and stealing that money to live this lifestyle. It's called fraud,
Mhm.
and there's so many out there that are doing that. But anyway, I digress. I went way left.
No, I'm
Oh,
so,
about
but
living
you're gonna have to
authentically.
tell me who that is because it's someone I follow too.
No, she's
Okay.
she's Persian.
Okay. Just curious, but
Yeah.
but I think that's part of it, and we all have to recognize, and that's part of my thing with social media because I'm trying to figure out my love hate with social media is I'm tired of the highlight reels
Yeah.
because I feel like that is just not. So when I post about, something I'm struggling with anxiety or whatever, it is like that is to me what's important because the reels are just highlight reels. It's not life. Um, and I don't like the perception, especially because you and I work primarily with women. Like you and I don't compete. We don't have that kind of mentality.
Yep.
And we're here to uplift women, and part of that is just this is real life. This is our real life, and sometimes real life sucks, man. It's hard.
Yeah.
And we all have our battles. We all have our demons, and um, So yeah, I'm with you. Sorry, I digress too, but
No worries.
I
Well, I was
think.
thinking just a few months ago, I think it was like September, October, all of the people that I was kind of following on Instagram more specifically, but they started doing the low reels. It was like um putting out posts. It became this trend where they were putting out posts about what it really is like and how difficult it was, and that it isn't all the highlight reels and things like that
Mhm,
because of people like you and me and the average person who says, we've had enough of being lied to.
mhm,
And, like I couldn't tell you how many people I have thought about, like they multimillionaires. They're really big in that. And realizing they started this in 2010, started this in 2012, 2013. As it was Tony Robbins said, the instant success took 20 years to build,
mhm,
you know, and it's
mhm.
kind of like, no, it does take time to build. And I don't know, like anybody else, I've sat in so many groups where, well, I launched this once and it didn't go. I think I'm not a coach. I'm going to give it up. I'll tell you, I have that mentality.
Mhm.
Why didn't this go? That did have had it. No, I come back after I stop reacting and pause.
Yeah, the pause.
so
Oh.
So anyway, I just wanted to bring up the idea of, when you reach your goals, like really that's what I was looking at is when you reach your goals, then what? Do you
Mhm.
set another goal? Is it easy for you? Is it hard? For me, it's been hard because this has not been an easy, being an entrepreneur is not easy.
No.
I
Mm-mm.
thought, and they lied to me. I saw those adverts that said in 3 months you can be making millions and this type of stuff. And, they don't tell you about the rejection and the haters and it's really nice when people say, hey, when you get a hater, you've arrived. No, it hurts. Um,
It's
so,
true.
it's kind of like, like that's where I'm at. It's like I reached those goals. Now what? Do I really want to stay in the game? And all the answer is yes. I'm just trying to figure out how and why, in a little bit way that protects the heart, I think, a little bit more this time around,
And
better.
maybe like you said, the game's different. You
Yeah,
you know, you're still an entrepreneur, you're still a coach, but maybe how you deliver looks
yeah,
different now.
yeah, yeah.
Remember in 2020, man, the big word was pivot. We all had to pivot.
And didn't we pivot? Yes,
And
yes, yes. So,
it's not a dance move.
no, pivoting is not a dance. I like that. So,
So,
so I think that's the end. Yeah. Do you have any thoughts, on this? Any experiences that you've done with achieving your goals, getting there, and then what do you do next? How do you pick yourself up, or how do you carry on?
mhm.
Uh, anyway, I'd love to hear because
Me
I'm right in
too.
the midst of it, trying to figure it out.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Trying to figure it out. That's a good one.
So thank you for joining us. I am Karen Vale, your mindset and confidence coach, and I am here with.
Anna Jennings, your midlife mentor.
Thanks for joining us.